Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we are starting another weekly reading vlog. So it is Monday afternoon and I have clearly just been filming, but I'm currently on sprints with Christy and Cassidy is joining me in a little bit. So I finished editing last week's reading vlog, which was TBR PG-a-thon, and as I said, I just filmed and I got a couple more bits and pieces that I want to do, but I'm going to be reading this evening, okay? After I finish telling you what I'm doing this week, I'm going to go and like tidy my room and do all of that stuff, and then next sprint I do have like a small bit of uni work to do, but then the sprint after that I'll probably have dinner and then I can read. So it's the last week of January and I still have 2 books on my TBR. So I have The Eye of the World, which I'm about 50 pages into, and I also have City of Dragons. So but have I read any of those? Do I want to read any of those? No. Yesterday night I read like 1 page of this and I know it was only 1 page. I can totally turn back. You can turn back, you can put it back. You don't have to read this. But also I really want to read this. But it is like 600 pages. Like, have I not put myself through enough? Like, I put Elantris, The Name of All Things, The Eye of the World. I haven't even finished The Eye of the World, and I want to read this. I'll see. I'll try and let the others convince me whether or not to read it. I have very ambitious plans, and I know for a fact they're not going to go as I planned. But this weekend, I'm going to read City of Dragons because I fly through those audiobooks. So, and that one's actually shorter than usual. It's like less than 500 pages. I usually can read them in like 2 or 3 days. So that's no problem. And then this week, I should read The Eye of the World because I'm only like 50 pages in and it's like 800 pages. I don't really want to though. I'll try and convince myself to. But yeah, I don't know, this is really speaking to me. And also because I have a whole vlog that I have planned in my head that I want to do for Valentine's Day, which would mean reading. I mean, it would be handy if I would actually start reading them. And like but like that's the thing, is it's kind of like I have to choose. So if I want to finish my TBR, I have to read The Eye of the World and I have to read City of Dragons, and I only have room for possibly 1 more, and even then that is like a stretch. I definitely don't have room for like 2. But also I want to read a fantasy romance because of that vlog. Hi, so it is now Wednesday. Yes, it is now Wednesday, so I haven't updated you in a little while. So I was talking to you on Monday as I had just finished filming, and I was trying to convince myself not to read The Mask of Mirrors, which I succeeded in. I continued with The Eye of the World, mostly because everyone told me to continue with The Eye of the World. So peer pressure works, guys. I am now, I think I'm 53% of the way, no, 54% of the way in, I think. That 1% makes a difference because like 1% in this book is like a lot. Read up to I think 1/3 of the way through on Monday on sprints with Christy and Cassidy, and then yesterday I was on sprints on Christy's channel, and so I read more. Those were some really good sprints. So obviously the big thing is thanks to everyone who has subscribed, because yeah, I'm still a little just don't believe that happened. Yeah, like I woke up this morning and like I was, you know, doing my usual thing of like scrolling through, adding videos to my watch later and everything, and like I just saw the like 430 and I was like, I can't believe that just happened. Anyway, yeah, so as I was saying, I still can't believe that happened a little bit, but I'm super grateful, and yeah, it's just, yeah, I can't put words, okay? But thanks. Then, as I said, I continued more of The Eye of the World, which, oh my god, this book is so long. I'm not at all dramatic, am I? I'm like 54% of the way through, which is basically the size of a normal book. Like, it's like 430 pages or something. And I still have so much more to go. So that's fun. I actually have a late start today, so I only got out of the bed. Whoops. But I only have 1 lecture and I have a lab. So on the bus up, I'm going to try and read because I think I have only like 1 or 2 YouTube videos I need to watch. So I'll watch them. And then I'll do some reading. And then I'll also be eating up there. That's why I'm heading up early. So I'll go to the restaurant and I'll get some food, and I'll probably read during that time as well. And then I have a lecture, a lab. And because of the time I finish at and the time that like my bus is, I'll have a small bit of time to go into the shops. So I will almost definitely go into bookstores, and I actually really do need to, because I need to get The Bone Ships by R.J. Barker, because I am a co-host for Cassidy's book club and I do not own it yet. So I need to do that, because I went in a couple days ago with my sister and I forgot to order it, but they only had like I think the second or the third one there, which I also didn't buy, and I'm gonna read that eventually because book club. So I don't know why I didn't buy that. I'll go in, I'll check if they have gotten it in by themselves, and if not, I'll go up and I'll order it, because it's almost February and that's when we're supposed to read it. Yes, thank you to anyone who subscribed, just in general, but also yesterday. So yeah, thanks. So just like blown away by BookTube, and I always knew like how amazing BookTube was anyway, but yesterday was just like wow. Because that's the thing is, I think I was at 383 or something, and so when like Pris and Christy and Cassidy were all like, she's really close to 400, which I would also like to point out, 400 was my goal for like the end of February, like start of March. I don't really focus on numbers that much, so like if I don't hit it, I don't hit it, but like that was kind of like a rough estimate of when I thought I was gonna hit it. That turned out not to be true. You know, there was about like 100 people in the chat, but I was like, well, only a small proportion of those actually interact, and then like not everyone who interacts is gonna like click on a link, and so I was like, it's possible, but I was like, maybe. And then like 50 people subscribed, and I was like, oh, did not expect that. So yeah, my maths was off. I underestimated the power of BookTube and all the wonderful people in the community. And yeah, I have wonderful friends on BookTube, and yeah, I'm just really happy. Hello, so it is now Wednesday evening. So obviously I spoke to you this morning, and so I did everything I said I would do, and I have bought 3 books. I don't like how much my physical TBR is growing. I don't like it. I don't want to be that person who has like 100 books on their TBR. I know I'm only at the like 20 something mark, but like I never was this high before. It was like, you know, between 10 and 15. So yeah, I don't like this. Always forget to like update you when I'm actually like dressed and like hair combed and everything. And so I just want to let you know, I do actually get dressed and go outside. You just don't see it. I went into a bookstore and I looked for The Bone Ships. They did not have it. So I ordered that in, and it should be there next week. And so then I bought 3 books. I bought the 3rd book in the Tide Child. I bought the 3rd book in the Tide Child trilogy. Why would you call it that? Which is The Bone Ship's Wake. These are really hard titles. By R.J. Barker. So this is the 3rd book, as I said, and so it is the final book in the trilogy. And yeah, the second one and the first one weren't there. As I mentioned, I did order in the first one. I didn't order in the second one, but that's March's problem, you know. But this was there, and I had a voucher, and so I was like, I'm gonna have to read it, because that makes it sound like I don't want to read it. I do want to read it. I am a co-host for Cassidy's book club, so I also have to read it in April. Yeah, I read March, April. So I was like, you know what, might as well just get it while it's there. Also, it's really floppy, which I did not expect. So yeah, so that is one book that I got. Then the next book that I got is House Moon Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. And again, another one I probably wouldn't have bought right now, apart from the fact I had a voucher, and I actually had never seen it in the bookstore before, and so I got caught up in the moment. But if you watched my favorite books of last year, I'll leave a link down below. But this made it pretty decent on the list. Yeah, I did listen to the audiobook of it, but and I would probably listen to the audiobook again, but also I did like read along with the audiobook. I think it was for like October readathon or whatever. And so it was just there. I had a voucher and I was like, you know what? I want to own it physically. It made it to my top books of last year. So yeah, I really loved it. So I want to own it. I think I own almost every book that was in my 5 stars. I think the only one I don't own is The Poet X. I could be wrong though. I can't remember what's on my top books of last year, obviously. Let me check. Oh yeah, no. Okay, that was a lie. So there's a couple more books I need to buy if I want to own all of my physical ones. So I would need to buy The Poet X, which again, that's another one that I would definitely listen to on audiobook if I was ever going to reread it. And then also The Never Tilting World and The Ever Cruel Kingdom by Rin Pecco. But those ones I've never seen in a bookstore, so I would probably just wait until they're like really cheap on like Book Depository or something. So I would like to own that duology, especially since I own the Bone Witch trilogy. So as I said though, when there's like good deals, I'll do it. And then the third and final book that I got was My Grandmother Sends Her Regards and Apologies by Frederick Buckman. This is one of the last ones I need to read by him. Okay, that's not true if you count the Beartown sequels, but I'm not. I want to do another like ranking a certain author's entire backlist. So how many have I done? I think I've done like 4-ish of those, maybe 5. It might be 5. I think it might be 5. But I realized that I was getting close to almost having read all of Frederick Buckman's books. So I thought it was like a good idea for me to get this because it's one of the last ones I need to read. I know that there's a novella he's written, The Deal of a Lifetime, is it, or something? And then there's another one, Every Day the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer. And then this one. And then I think I'll be good. As I mentioned, I'm not going to read the sequels to Beartown. But yeah, so that, I mean, it'll probably be like summertime before you get that video, but just know you'll get it eventually. I've only read like 30 pages today, so can't really update you much on that. It's been a while, but I can't remember, was it Thursday I last spoke to you? I didn't read anything. No, I did. I only read like 20 pages on Thursday. Didn't read anything yesterday on Friday. And today I'm reading City of Dragons. And I'm currently that far through. So 247 pages in. I'm going to try and finish it today. Also, I'm going to talk about The Eye of the World because I still haven't finished that. But anyway, not much left. I think I should have it done in like 2-3 hours. So yeah. Hi, so it is now Sunday evening and I'm trying to finish The Eye of the World. So I have, I think, about 100 pages left and I can do it, but will I? Yeah, I want to have this done before next week. An idea that I want to do, and it's like 4 books that I want to read for it. Like I can't carry it over to another week because, as I said, I have 4 books I want to read next week. So I want it done. I don't think, I mean, I feel like I should just, a part of me wants to DNF it, despite the fact I'm 80 whatever % through it. I don't DNF things though, and certainly not when I read like 700 pages. I just feel so meh about it. Like I don't dislike it, I just don't care. Like I'm just so ambivalent. Like I have never felt this just nothing towards a book. Like absolutely nothing. So yeah, so that's fun. But yesterday I did read the entirety of City of Dragons by Robin Hobb, so that was a nice little break. And I gave that a 4 out of 5 stars, but it is the highest 4 stars out of all of the Rainwild books so far. Just none of them have reached the 5-star mark for me because I think it does have to do with the publishing issues. Like I think the first and second book were supposed to be one book, and then the third and fourth were supposed to be another book. And I think you can feel it because with Robin Hobb's book, like the first half-ish is like very, you know, slow, a lot of moving, getting from place to place, a lot of just being with the characters. And I love that. And then in the second half, you know, stuff is happening and all of that like attachment that we have built up, we see like, you know, Robin Hobb, you know, attack us basically. And it doesn't work when they are basically split in half. And so you are getting all of the like character interactions and all of that, and then it like stops. And that's why this series I think is just not working for me completely, because I'm not really getting the payoff that I want, because I have to wait like a whole month before I can get the payoff. And but that being said, all of them have been 4 stars so far for me, and this one has actually been my favorite one because just the characters. I have grown quite attached to some of them. Some of them I still don't completely love. We got a lot more of characters we saw in the live ship trailers. Like we saw kind of nearly like cameos basically in like the first book, and I think maybe mentions in the second book. But in this book, like we actually got like a perspective from characters that we've seen before, and so like that was really nice, and seeing how they have grown so much since those books and all of that. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, so like the characters and just like their interaction. There is one ship, I mean there's a couple of ships in here that I'm like, but there is one that I'm thinking of, and it's so sweet. And yeah, and I feel like this one was very quaint, and I quite liked it for that reason. It felt like, you know, in like fan fiction, when it is just like mundane stuff. Like there is no drama. It is just them, you know, sitting down somewhere, you know, doing just really normal stuff, and it's just like their everyday interactions. That was kind of what this book felt like. Basically, the plot from the first and second book is kind of over now. And it was just a lot of, okay, so what are we doing now? And it was just them spending time with each other and all of this. And we got some really interesting world building stuff. Like it definitely like was getting you really interested in what the hell is happening. So yeah, I had a really good time with it, but this just series overall is not completely grabbing me. And yeah, I'm going to try and finish The Eye of the World, and if I do, I will update you and tell you my feelings. Though I will tell you right now that my feelings are going to be, it was a book. I will hopefully talk to you in about like an hour-ish maybe. I did it. I finished The Eye of the World. And yeah, no thoughts. Head empty. I've stopped using Copile this year, but I think I might bring up my old spreadsheet and just put the numbers in to try and figure it out for this one, because I don't know whether it's a 2 or a 3 star, because like 2 star is like, just, I feel like that's so harsh, because I didn't dislike it. Like there was nothing about it that like I really did not like and hate it. So I feel like 2 stars, I mean that means I didn't like the book, and so I feel like it's really harsh. But also there was nothing I enjoyed about it, and like a 3 star to me is like a decent rating. And so it just, yeah, maybe I might break my no 0.5 rules and give it a 2.5. So like right in the middle, like just completely meh. Characters, I think I'm gonna give them, I'll give it a 5 for mediocre. I feel like everything's gonna be a 5, so it's gonna come out like a 3. I think if everything is a 5, it'll come out as a 3. Then there's atmosphere, and atmosphere is usually I kind of usually hit more for world building, which I think I'll give that 6. So okay, lots of good things and a fair amount of bad things, but the good things prevail, because there was nothing about it that the world that like truly blew me away or like had me really engaged and captivated, and with everything else in the story. But I do think that this had more of the things that interested me and intrigued me. Writing, I think it was very overwritten. So I'm going to give it a 5. Like there were so many times where I would just want, there were so many times when I would just like want to start skimming, and like I would like just start doing it without realizing it, and then I'd be like, I've missed like a whole page of text because I just like completely zoned out, and so I would have to go back and reread it. So I'm gonna give it a 5. Plot, I'm also gonna give it a 5 for mediocre because most of it was just walking. And listen, I love Robin Hobb. There's a lot of walking in those books, but there wasn't enough angst while walking for it to do anything for me. Intrigue is gonna have to go lower down. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give that a 3 because I did not want to pick up this book. Logic, again, I'll give that 5 for mediocre. And enjoyment, again, I think I'll just a 5, mediocre. Okay, so that puts it as a 3. Okay, it's just in. If one thing had been lower, I think it would be a 2. So I'm not sure, will I might give it a 2.5 on the spreadsheet because I feel like that is a more accurate. I don't really like to give 0.5s anymore, but I feel like it's just such a middle of the road, average, meh. I just was not captivated, interested slightly, like I was very bored. So I think I'm going to give it a 2.5. So that brings us to the end of this video. I finished my TBR for the month. Woo-woo. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, subscribe. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye.